print out and have on hand, so I don't have to have a computer monitor or a computer with it at all times. I can refer to an actual piece of paper. I've also read the sampling section, and inside the sampling section, it did not clearly state how to sample with the effects applied to it. But I did find out something simple, that the request I was going to ask for make is already here. And I tried it out of curiosity. Instead of having to sample something once into a bank and then resample it to get the effects applied to it, I have found out that you can simply press Shift and resample button at the same time and sample the first time with the effects clearly applied. Now, to have some fun and actually address this compressor effect. One of the things that I had ran into was actually almost injuring my ears with the power of some of these effects, like this distortion. I think this was a good one. It's pretty loud and powerful. I have it turned down very low. You can hear it. Look at it start to clip. It starts to clip out real quick with just a little bit on there. And so one of the things I wanted to test out was the editing features of it all. I had started to get pretty good at understanding what some of this is doing, and you can see here's the distortion. It also has a reverb, and after that, it's nothing else really going on. So all the power we hear that's making this effect clip out so quickly as we get to this upper corner of the XY pad is coming from this one effect right here. Look at that. Look at all of that that's set up to it. So if I press the bottom, it's going to reset that sound. I want to keep it up where it's at in order to try to understand more. I want to keep it here. That's drive. That's a great one. The source that edits the power of that drive right now is our Y controller. So, God, my geometry is terrible. Y would be left and right, I believe, and X is up and down. So as we go left and right, that controls a lot of the power that's going on with that particular effect. I've found that... Oh wow, I just turned that off? No, it's down low though. Not exactly what I was trying to do. Up here, but this is part of what I wanted to try. If I bring this down lower, that might be why it went down when I swiped to the left originally. No, this is something else, where I messed up. So, what I wanted to see was if that is stored when I make a change. Shift is exit, back to just the effect, down low. Oh, it's already not as powerful. Alright, so... I think that answers my question. Every little change that I had things that I have to get used to doing is actually pressing down. You have to hold it, but you can preview it as you're editing it like that. So I could just do this, and instead of exiting the menu, I can just listen to the changes that I've made. But this one, I like how powerful it is, but at the same time, it seems like there's so much more potential for the use of the dual range with some of the other stuff. I don't even know what that stands for. Tone, I don't mind that. Level, oh my goodness, yes, let's turn that down. That's a big part of what's killing us. It's settings like that you have to go in and look for. There's no reason, in my opinion, that the level should be something that's mapped to one of the ranges, because that's something you're either going to blow your speakers out with or you're going to blow your ears out with, and both of those you need in order to have this career. So please make sure that you are working this effects depth in order to actually safely listen to what you're doing on this device, because it's powerful, as I've demonstrated. And some of these, when they're all the way up to like 127, there's no forgiveness for what it can actually do. Maybe it's the effects level. Okay. But this, yeah, this is the one you gotta watch out for. This drive. The level is just almost the depth or power of the effect, I guess. But this one that's drive has a lot to do with the volume, and this one has just been devastating a couple times. But take your time, be careful. Anytime you change a program, make sure that you are working this effects depth before you do something with it. Especially the synths too. Those are another one I'll just take a moment to mention. And the volume of that is that effects depth right there. Attention to your program list, get that printed out. It's very helpful. Lets you know which effects are dual effects, which ones aren't. And those dual effects are a great start a lot of the times for saving something as a user pattern that you can edit and save the changes to. Because any one of these, if I edit it and I want to save it, it becomes a user pattern. I get about 100 of those from what I understand so far. Over time, I'm sure I'll test that out diligently, because this is my favorite thing about this is the customization and the versatility of it. The fact that it's actually dual touch is just amazing and beautiful. I've only touched the tip of the iceberg as to what you can actually do with it, and I have a lot more to figure out. I hope this has been as helpful for you as it has been for me in the way that I intended. Make sure that you're careful operating the depth as you change programs, and when you hear something that's too loud, just take a moment to go into that edit menu and swipe to the left, see what's mapped where and what needs to be turned down. The purple ones are always the ones to check.